that, you know, that's awesome. The closest library is down near the bridge, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's really cool. We already have our amenity center. You might want to phase up to that because that's our amenity center right now. We have the pool in right now. It's a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool.
Very nice.
We do have some of the front pavilions, but we'll eventually begin to kind of make that a little bit bigger with tennis courts and eating pavilion and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that the pool is already in, and that's right here. So
Fantastic.
to kind of break it down a little bit, we have 7 builders in Carolina Park. You might want to take a little picture of that side. Those are our 7 builders right now, and so we'd like to talk about what I'll call 2 neighborhoods in Carolina Park. The first one is cleverly named Carolina Park in Carolina Park, and the second one is Riverside in Carolina Park. Distinctions, neighborhoods, price point. This front section, also sort of dubbed front section, is 3 semi-custom builders. So it's Ryland Homes, David Weekley Homes, and Saucy Burbank. Price point roughly $360 to we're hitting $550 in this number. Semi-custom basically means that essentially there's a menu and buyers can kind of buy off the menu, so to speak, pick their options, things like that. But I will tell you the spec level is very high comparatively, say to Mt.Pleasant, other communities. 10-foot ceilings are standard, 9-foot on the second floor, granite is standard, hardy plank is standard, irrigation is standard. Quite a few standards that for the price point, it's kind of nice. So the expectation level is high, but so is the spec level.
Sure.
When you cross Darrow Creek Trail, our prices go up and our elbow room gets a little bigger. So these lots are about 1/6 of an acre. These lots are more like 1/3 or so on average. You can get a little bit bigger, up to about 1/2 an acre, just depends on the lots. And the price points go a little bit higher, but also the build is completely custom. So that's where we kind of bring in the other builders. There's 5 builders in the back section, in the Riverside section. And again, so Klein Homes is back there, Sable, Burton Company, Structures, and Saucy Burbank is the only builder right now that is building on both sides of the aisle. But again, the price point's roughly $550 or so. And we're hitting the 750s now, back in there. And the process is completely custom. So a buyer can do anything from pick from one of the portfolio plans from one of these builders, or they can literally bring their own floor, of course, by price point and then just floor plan. In Riverside, we do, by the way, most of the prices here, depending upon the builder, might have lot premiums. Just depends on David Weekley and Ryland Homes. They typically do a lot premium situation. Saucy Burbank may be doing a lot premium situation as they open up the next section, but back here, for sure, it is the build price plus the lot price back here. And lot prices in Riverside right now are about $105 to $155 per lot. So that's sort of when you get into sort of that higher floor build point. When you come to Carolina Park and you come to the main sales center, you sign your buyer in for the community, and then you don't have to sign them in again. So from a sales center point of view, both Weekley and Ryland do have their own on-site sales staff. So when your buyer comes to here, let's say they hear this story about Carolina Park, then we typically send them down to Weekley and Ryland to A, look at their models, and to B, to hear their stories. And they do handle their own sales. We all work together, which is kind of unique. It's a rather hybrid sales situation, which is nice.
Oh, no problem.
It benefits the buyer, obviously. And in Saucy Burbank, right now, they only have these 3, well, actually 2 specs, so they don't have decorated models, but we actually have 2 homes that I would recommend that you walk into just to get a feel for Saucy Burbank. But definitely, if you go through the first circle and straight through the second, you can't miss the signs that say Sales Center one way or the other. David Weekley to the left and Ryland to the right. So those are the decorated models.
Okay, great.
And we don't have